Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is September 5th of 2025. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland has greenlit World War III for the day of September 6th of 2025. Coincidentally, the day of September 6th of 2025 marks exactly 80 years and 4 days since World War II ended back on September 12th of 1945. Obviously, this has the 84 numerology, which is coincidentally found in the numerology of one Barack Hussein Obama, which was born on August 4th, 84 of 1961, as well as the 48 numerology found in the presidency of J.D. Vance. And that is because in the aftermath of this global conflict that is slated for the date of September 6th of 2025, one of those two men will become president of the United States, most likely under the guise of a dictatorship, an emergency dictatorship, which I'll get into in a second. The date of September 6th bears the 96 numerology, or 69 numerology, found in the yin and yang symbol, which is also found in the United States nuclear attacks on Hiroshima and Nagasaki back on August 6th of 1945 and August 9th of 1945 respectively. And that is because the impending attack and invasion slated for the date of September 6th of 2025 is specifically designed to culminate in nuclear bombing attacks across the globe. In order to set up this impending Axis invasion on the date of September 6th of 2025, the CIA staged the 25th annual Shanghai Cooperation Summit in Tianjin, China, back on August 31st through September 3rd, which featured Chinese President Xi Jinping, as well as Russian President Vladimir Putin, as well as North Korean President or dictator Kim Jong-un. Therefore, the CIA has clustered them together, and then they will claim that this is where this plot was hatched to take over the world, essentially. So in the event of a full-scale World War III invasion on the date of September 6th, it would mark exactly 3 days since the end of the SEO summit, and so that would make two such events in 4 days, and this is the 24 numerology, which equates to the letter X, which is the international symbol of death. Also, in respect to U.S. President Donald J. Trump, during his assassination event back on July 13th of 2024, he was hit in the ear, and that is because upon hearing about this full-scale attack and invasion on multiple fronts around the world on the date of September 6, 2025, the CIA will predictably assassinate him under the guise of a medical-related event. So basically, the bandage on the ear was designed to foreshadow that he will be assassinated when hearing the news of these wars. So to date, in the second Trump administration, he has bargained or negotiated a total of 7 peace treaties, and the CIA set this up so that Trump, who is always repeating himself about his conquests and his accolades, he has been saying for the last few weeks and months that he has solved 5 wars, then 6 wars, then 7 wars, and this is because a total of 6 or 7 wars are going to break out on multiple fronts on the date of September 6th of 2025, after which Trump will meet his maker. He will likely be taken to a black site and tortured until his death, but he will be killed off in the public eye. And that is specifically why the CIA has been spawning this narrative that Trump is dead. It was a viral hoax that went around. You can check out my other videos, but it was called Trump is Dead. And that is because they plan to kill him just in the aftermath of the onset of this full-scale Axis invasion around the world. So exactly what it will look like when the CIA in Switzerland triggers World War III on the date of September 6th of 2025 is obviously not known, but it will most likely feature a full-scale Russian attack or invasion of Alaska, Germany, Poland, possibly Finland, other countries in Europe, as well as a complete takeover of Ukraine, likely featuring a siege of Kiev, the capital of Ukraine. In respect to China, we can expect a full-scale attack or invasion targeting the Philippines, Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, Australia, and New Zealand, possibly even Argentina or Brazil. In respect to Iran, we can expect a full-scale attack or invasion of Israel, Qatar, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, and or the United Arab Emirates, possibly even Turkey. In respect to North Korea, we can expect a full-scale attack and invasion of South Korea and or Japan. In respect to India, who is also, I should have mentioned previously that Narendra Modi, the president of India, was also at the SCO summit in Tianjin, and therefore it's highly likely that that India, who has basically suffered a 50% tariff in buying oil from Russia, because Trump is trying to force Putin's hand in respect to the Russo-Ukrainian peace negotiations, that we can expect that India will, who's kind of a wild card along with Turkey, that India will side with Russia, China, and become part of the Axis, and will likely execute a full-scale attack or invasion of Pakistan or Jammu and Kashmir. In respect to Venezuela, which is flexing its military muscle as we speak, mobilizing 15,000 troops, as well as sending warships off the coast and buzzing U.S. Navy ships in the Caribbean Sea, we can expect a full-scale attack or invasion of Brazil or Mexico or Colombia, but most likely a siege of the Panama Canal, which would interrupt global shipping lanes and obviously create mass panic and an economic collapse. There's also the possibility that Turkey, Recep Erdogan, the president of Turkey, he's also, like I mentioned, a wild card, and it's highly likely that he would possibly attack Israel or other states in the region, such as Greece, Albania, Lebanon, Syria, etc. So we have about 7 fronts that are expected to commence on the date of September 6th of 2025. And what's imperative to note here is this will not be a traditional war as we saw with World War I or World War II. What we're going to see is almost immediately in the beginning of this war, we're going to see some sort of weaponized biological contagion or germ warfare being waged, most likely by China or North Korea. That is because the CIA wants to institute a global lockdown and then force everybody to take toxic vaccines. Coincidentally, U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy is coincidentally testifying before Congress yesterday and possibly even today. And so this is what they're setting up is that once this war starts, they're going to basically quell all political dissent by basically pulling the plug on the internet and mandating lockdowns across the board. So they basically want to shut everybody up because there's going to be protests, anti-war protests all around the globe, and they do not want to deal with this, so they're going to stage another pandemic that they're going to blame on Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, India, Venezuela, or even Turkey. So that's the plan. It's going to be draconian internet censorship along with a global lockdown, and that's how they plan to execute this war. And then, of course, we will be under martial law wherever you live, and then the CIA can have their carte blanche to do whatever they want. And so this is Switzerland. Her CIA is exposed, courtesy of yours truly, and they are exposed on a global level. And so they basically have to tear it all down and then assassinate every single person that knows about Switzerland and her role in geopolitics. And they have to basically kill literally millions of people to basically to eradicate. It's going to be some sort of it's going to be a Swiss Inquisition essentially, because they have to go through and find out every single person that knows about the CIA in Switzerland, and they have to assassinate them. And they're going to do this under the guise of a global war that they will subsequently blame on Trump for issuing or instituting tariffs on goods coming into the United States, and they will predictably state that this was some sort of a chain reaction and that Trump triggered this by his tariffs, and they want to blame Trump and the MAGA movement for this. But Trump will not be around to see this war. He will be neutralized in some form or fashion on the night of September 5th, or the date of September 6th, or the date of September 7th, before he has a chance to step in, because in Trump's mind, he's going to try to negotiate his way out of this. And what he doesn't understand is that from behind the scenes, Switzerland is controlling the puppet strings, with Vladimir Putin, Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un, Rouhani in Iran, Modi in India, and of course Maduro and in Venezuela, and Erdogan in Turkey. These are just puppets, they're just actors, most likely Freemasons, and Trump is not aware that these people have no real power and that they are beholden to their intelligence agencies, which are all run by the CIA in Switzerland. And so they're going to orchestrate a global takeover, starting with an offensive on the morning of September 6th. And like I said, it's going to be on multiple fronts. And so basically, what's to be expected is that on the morning in Asia, so that's about current time in Asia, probably 5 or 6 in the morning, in the AM, they will begin their offensive, and then India will begin her offensive, and then Turkey and Iran will begin their offensive, and then Russia will begin theirs, and so it's just going to spiral around the globe. So by the night of September 6th, we should have full-scale warfare, World War III, commencing. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, this is complete annihilation. The CIA is not going to stop until every single person is wiped out, and they are going to do so in the aftermath of a global pandemic. So obviously, if this comes to fruition in reality, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.